Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Worm Watts, where we harness the amazing God-given power of compost worms to transform organic waste into amazing living fertilizer. It's been several months, actually almost 6 months since we were last with you, and obviously in that time we've experienced a lot of crazy things. 2025 has been a crazy year. We've seen injustice in the highest places in our country, and but I've been brought back to the reminder that the reason we started this channel was to be able to really see God's power in such a small creature such as the compost worm. And I think that at times like this, it's really worth going back to that and not getting caught up or overly worried by the things going on, but always remembering that at the end of the day, this is our Father's world. And so I definitely don't want to do this to dispel the concern that we should have, but I definitely want us to remember that there is still a good God on the throne. So with that being said, let's get into our bin. Now, this worm bin is our first fruits bin, and I have that right here. First fruits. And this bin is the one that we harvested last year, and just before the new year, we tossed in an entire pumpkin in here for these guys to demolish. And so I'm extremely excited to see what they've done with it. So I'm gonna pull out all my usual tools. I think I just pulled this out. I got my spray bottle here. We'll get out our usual source of grit in the form of crushed eggshell and have that nearby. But boy, oh boy, am I excited to see what these guys have done with this pumpkin. So without further ado, I'm gonna open this up. Let's see if there's anything left. They've had 186 days, if my calculations are correct, to work on this. And oh my, that is a very fine set of worm castings. Look at that. And I will point out that we do have some flies in here. I always like to take stock of that so that you can be aware of some of the other realities of having a worm bin. So the moisture in here is probably really nice. Goodness, it's like putting your fingers into a chocolate cake. Wow, okay, so yeah, they have really, the pumpkin is completely gone. There is no sign of it anywhere. But the worms are all in there. So that is really, really, really incredible. Just to see the progress that they made in that short time. And I mean, it's an utter transformation. So I'm highly impressed, and I'm going to go ahead and feed them again. So I have this this squash here. I'm gonna toss that in there. Actually, you know what? Since these castings are so well done, I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually just, I don't think I'm going to toss in any of another feeding yet. I think the best thing for this is for it to dry out to some degree. So what I might do is I might add in some brown material just to help dry this up a little bit and let them process that so that we can harvest it. So I think previously in this we've used cardboard, so I have some shredded cardboard on hand. Just gonna put some of that in there for them to chow down on. that will also help with a little bit with the moisture content, which I think is pretty decent. And I'm gonna moisten this cardboard because I don't want it to dry out the bin. But yeah, this is fantastic to see. So just gonna spread out a fine layer of that. I'm gonna see how far down I can dig into the castings, but they're just so wet. I mean, look at that. It's like, so I'm really hoping that this will help with that. I don't even know that I'm gonna put any, I don't know that it needs any water added. I think that just over, I'll spray down a fine layer on top, just so that it's not bone dry on those pieces of cardboard. But it's one nice thing about having a closed bin like this is that it retains the moisture very well. So as you could see, we have worms in there. They seem to be doing pretty well. Digging down is kind of a little bit difficult to do because it's so wet. But yeah, I'm really excited with the bin to see how well it progressed, and I kind of wonder how long they've been in there without anything additional to munch down on. They've just been in their castings for so long. So I definitely hope that this little feeding of some brown materials gives them something to work on, and the moisture should help. So, all right. Well, that was a quick check, but we'll go ahead and call it a day. If you look in here at the bin, you can actually see where the flies have kind of, this seems to be where the flies have all of their casings. So I might try to clean that out so that they are not. All right, well, got some of those out. But wow, what a transformation they've done in 6 months. No more of an entire, quite big pumpkin. So very impressive work by the worms. We'll go ahead and close this up and call it a day. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.